did the Mandalorian and Grogu movie retcon the Mandalorian creed?
This is the way.
Now, ever since the very beginning of the Mandalorian series, we've seen that Din Djarin, who's part of this sect of Mandalorians that believe that to remove your helmet breaks the code of the Mandalorians, and that if you do it, you become an apostate, you become separated and no longer part of this group. Now, this is the group that raised Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, so he really takes these values to heart in a way that other Mandalorians don't.
It's against the creed. You really buy into that bantha fodder? I do.
While in the season 2 finale, he takes off his helmet to say goodbye to Grogu, that is the first time that he willingly removes his helmet. We see in the Book of Boba Fett that doing so causes him to become an apostate.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
And in order to fix this status, he has to go and bathe in the living waters of Mandalore. But then in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, when his helmet is forcibly removed by the Hutt twins, he says that it is okay if he kills everyone who saw him.
You, the outcast.
Not if you all die.
So what is it? What is the fix, the way to religiously be forgiven for having your Mandalorian helmet removed? Is it to bathe in the living waters? Or is it to kill everyone who saw you? Because it seems to be different for these two projects. It's not like the Hutt said, we've shamed you forever, and he said, well, actually, it'll be fine if I take a bath in the living waters of Mandalore, and that'll actually be a little easier now because we've reclaimed the planet from the Imperial remnants at the end of Season 3. That's not what he says. Does this plot point from the movie mean that they're just changing the rules all loosey-goosey? I would say that no, actually, they're not changing any rules. They're just adding on to the rules that we already know about. See, in that episode of the Book of Boba Fett where Din Djarin is named an apostate, there are actually two questions that the armorer is asking both him and Paz Vizsla, who just engaged in a duel of honor. At the end of the duel, she asks Paz Vizsla,
Have you ever removed your helmet?
No.
Has it ever been removed by others?
Never.
have you ever removed your helmet? Has it ever been removed by somebody else? He can answer no to both questions. Then she turns to Din Djarin and she asks him,
Din Djarin, have you ever removed your helmet?
have you ever removed your helmet? And he can't answer no to that because he has. So she never gets around to asking that second question. Has it ever been removed by somebody else? So I think these are two distinct problems for their religion that have two distinct solutions.
The way I see it, we have two choices.
Removing your helmet yourself is your choice, so you need to do some act of atonement, going to bathe in the living waters of Mandalore. But if your helmet is removed by somebody else, that is an act of violence from an outsider against your religious beliefs. And the way to redeem yourself is not to go and do this act of atonement, because you're not the one that chose to remove the helmet. It's to kill those who offended against you. That's what the creed is, and so there's actually no contradiction. We're just learning more rules, as we do as we continue to explore the Mandalorian creed throughout the series and now this movie. In the movie, the line, the old protect the young, and then the young protect the old, this is the way, is a new part of the creed that we haven't heard before, but that doesn't mean that it's contradicting anything. We're just learning more about this religion. And so we have now seen the solution to both of the helmet removing conundrums. You removed it yourself. We deal with that in Season 3 of Mandalorian. Bathe in the living waters of Mandalore. Now, if it's removed by somebody else, you gotta kill them. And we see that in the Mandalorian and Grogu. So there's actually no contradiction at all, and we just get to continue to explore in depth this Mandalorian belief system, and I think that's really cool. Well, those were just my thoughts. I made this video because I've seen a couple people saying that it was a contradiction when I certainly have never viewed it that way, and I wanted to get my thoughts out there. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you want to see other videos about The Mandalorian or Star Wars, you can check one out right here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.